Well, Wesley, we're taking DisasterClass podcast on the road.
Absolutely. The only thing is, we don't have the sound effect, so class is not in session.
Insert sound effect here.
You know what that means.
Class is in session.
Class is now in session.
Although, so full disclosure.
Mobile. Yeah.
Full disclosure for our listeners, because obviously this is...
And viewers.
This is completely unscripted.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're going to talk about.
So this is DisasterClass Raw.
DisasterClass Raw. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Perez.
And I'm Wesley Long.
And we're bringing you a fresh new take on disaster preparedness.
Welcome to DisasterClass.
We are
Road trip.
on the road heading to Atlanta, Georgia.
So, Jason, let me ask you. What are we doing in Atlanta?
I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
No, so we are on our way down to Atlanta for, of course, DisasterClass is part of the Readiness Lab. And
Yes.
the Readiness Lab is hosting a special training conference for emergency managers. So this is a very high-level training for people that are in positions of emergency management, whether for a state, for a city, a lot of different things. And so we're going to be going through an intensive 3-day training.
3 days.
And then exercise at the end. And so we're going to be specifically looking at stadiums. So cities with stadiums, large stadiums.
Dynamic population.
Yeah, what happens when you have a stadium full of 80 to 100,000 people and then terrorist attack, or
Chemical
something,
hazmat,
anything, right?
Yep.
Something happens, and now you have 80 to 100,000 people that need care and attention. Like, what do you do with them? How do you care? How do you coordinate that response?
How do you manage that mass of people?
Yeah.
How do you get them reconnected with their loved ones, especially if it's at some massive location where maybe they don't all speak the same language. They haven't necessarily all live in the same country. So there's a lot of components that we're going to be having the opportunity to learn about and put into practice, because it's a live exercise.
Yeah. So
That's going to be intense.
Cool.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to a Braves game too.
We are. We're going to a Braves game.
Yeah.
And of course, that's still going to be work, because we're going to be at a stadium with a dynamic population. So we're going to be taking some of the pointers that we've learned and be looking at what measures are already in process at that actual venue live, and then kind of critiquing that and utilizing that as almost like a case study within the class. So
it's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun, but it will also be work,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Should be fun. We're going to learn something today. We're going to be the ones in class.
We are in class for the next 3 days.
The next 3 days, we're going to be the ones in class, so that's going to be fun. But we also have another purpose of going there, Wesley.
Do it.
Yeah.
What's the other purpose?
The other purpose, Quick Pack.
Yes, we are launching a new product. So, in conjunction with this live class demonstration exercise, we partnered, our company, Instinct Ready, partnered with the parent company of the Readiness Lab, which is Doberman EMG, Emergency Management, to create and then provide a whole new product in our product line, specifically for these individuals in class. Everyone will be getting one of our new Quick Packs as a take-home gift. And then we get to do an in-service as Instinct Ready to talk about our company and talk about how we created this product and what we can do for other emergency managers and their organizations moving forward.
So what exactly is Quick Pack?
So Quick Pack is a multi-splendored thing. It is kind of like a first aid kit on steroids, but part of the concept is something that can be utilized every day to ensure everyday readiness, right? So one of the many uses would be something that is happening far too often these days is I don't know, what's the
Active shooter.
active shooter. That's what I was looking for. Active shooters. Obviously, the numbers and the stats of that we could get into it, but a lot of times when there's an active shooter, there are passersby and other individuals that are wounded, and they need rapid attention for blood loss and bleeding control. So that was one of the biggest factors that we were looking at with this, especially with our medical background, and we know the necessity of medical care as soon as possible, right?
Yep.
We're going to be getting into a disaster class, first responders. I think we've talked a little bit about it. We kind of have a little bit different vision and spin on that than most, but having some bleeding control supplies like a combat action tourniquet, having bandages and gauze with hemostatic agents to promote clotting, SAM split to keep the limbs in proper locations so that they can heal. So the Quick Pack has all of that, and the vision behind it is it's small enough in size and also in price that they can be everywhere. If it was up to me, I would have a mandate where it would be in every single person's desk in the bottom right drawer, right? So that even if after an active shooter you're crawling and you're not at your own cubicle, you'll know that, oh, hey, I'm at Jason's cubicle. He should have a Quick Pack. I know exactly where it is. Let me grab that so I can give myself medical attention, or I can give medical attention to somebody else. Because I think the days of us as a group relying on the first aid kit that is supposed to be taken care of, that's supposed to be restocked and refilled. First of all, how many people here even know where the first aid kit is for their office cubicle?
And here's the other thing, right? If we think about what's commonly found in a traditional workplace first aid kit, I mean, it's for boo-boos, right? It's for cuts and scrapes. This is not
be
for
robust enough
trauma
to handle trauma.
And I think it's important for just people to understand that, like, when an active shooter type, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an active shooter, but if you're at a work site, if you work on a work site and you cut yourself with a knife or a saw, and you get really bad arterial bleeding, you can bleed out in as little as 30 seconds to a minute.
Very quickly.
So you're not going to have time to wait for an ambulance to get there. By the time we get there, there's going to be nothing left for us to do.
Correct.
So the importance of somebody having not only access to bleeding control things, like in the Quick Pack, there's going to be a combat action tourniquet, like you said, hemostatic dressing, and then also chest seals. And now, of course, unless you've taken a Stop the Bleed class, you're not necessarily going to know how to use that. But with every Quick Pack comes actually a free Stop the Bleed class. There's a QR code on the tag that you can scan, and you can take the Stop the Bleed class.
Yeah, so getting back to that, we do a little pitch here for our company, Instinct Ready, right? Our vision at Instinct Ready is to educate, prepare, and equip in that order. Education first, right? Because we feel that if you're very, very well educated, but you're not prepared and you don't have the equipment, you can still do very good. Whereas if you look at it from the backwards, say you're equipped, you have the best kit in the world, but you're not prepared for disaster and you haven't been educated as what to do or even when to use the kit, you might seem prepared and it might seem really nice, you spent some money. I don't think that you're going to be extremely well prepared for something. I'd rather give somebody a head full of knowledge and have no gear, because they're going to be better off. So with us, with this Quick Pack, yes, what we're saying is there's a high level of medical care equipment available, right? And as EMTs, this is the quality and level of stuff that is in the ambulance, right, that we use every day. But then the question is, does the everyday person know how to use it, right? Because you could give them something amazing, but if they don't know how to use it, it's still not going to be necessarily helpful. So then that's when we decided to, on the hang tag, put that QR code so that every single person that purchases a Quick Pack, all you have to do is go to your phone, scan the QR code. It's going to take you to an absolutely free Stop the Bleed course where you can build up the educational resources so that you'll know how to use the things that are in the bag. So for us, we always want to address the educational component, which is why our podcast is DisasterClass, right? Education, right? We're promoting education. So for us, we're excited about the Quick Pack. We're excited about some of the things we've done to try to get people every day ready, right? So that they can be prepared and have the equipment that they need so that they can, meet and beat any disaster that they might be facing. So yeah, we got a lot going on down in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
It'd be nice to see what everybody thinks of it too. And
yeah, it's always good to get feedback.
Throw it on social media too. We'll post some pictures of it.
So that's what's going on. We're just road tripping. We are 4 hours in?
Yeah.
We're about 4 hours in, 4 out of 14 hours.
So
like the next time we turn the cameras on, it's gonna be like, we're still on the road. I haven't made it to Atlanta yet.
Not to mention the first two.
Not to
mention the first 2.5 hours. I listened to you snore for.
I don't know why you have to bring that up. They don't need to know that. All right, so yeah. You know what? Fine, Jason.
But,
I worked last night. I had to work the overnight. Okay, so I worked 11. I won't even say what I did for the whole rest of the day. But the part that matters for the snoring, is I worked 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. this morning. Went home at 7 a.m., showered, changed. Fortunately, I'd already packed the night before. Hopped in my car, drove to his house so that we could drive here. So yeah, I took a nap, Jason.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Sure sounded like complaining. My goodness.